Don't shy away from things just because other people can't pull it off.
That's a flex.
But it's so true. I think we often dim our light for other people. And it's like, well, why didn't they bring sunglasses? Like, I don't understand.
Wait. Flex number 2. Would it be fair to say that your crying habits are like Priya's peeing habits?
No, I unpacked this with my therapist actually. Because I was concerned.
Like that specifically?
Yeah, because I was concerned about that. I was like, have I just conditioned myself to do so? But she, this was a very long conversation, so this is very like tied up in a bow right now. But she was saying it's actually really healthy that I can do that because I'm able to cycle through the emotion and move past it quicker. So it's like I accept it and I move past it faster than some people who are like trying to hold things back. And so she was like, if you are in a situation where you're happy or you're sad or something frustrated you, she's like, if you feel safe in that environment to do so, it's okay. Just let it out because it's not like I'm doing it for hours. And in the long run, it prevents me from having bigger like mental breakdowns.
Yeah.
Like, where like they still happen occasionally, but not that much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can you tell
kind of that.
when you're like,
when
you're due?
Oh, for sure.
For like a good breakdown?
Yeah. It feels like sometimes you'd confuse it with PMSing. Like everything just irks you a little bit more. And like you just feel like everything is making you a bit more sensitive. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel like those are my signs.
You know what though? I get duped every month.
Do you really?
I do.
Don't.
Okay, no one asked you. Stay over there.
Okay.
I get duped every month.
Why?
Like something will happen and like, it bothers me more than normal or I get like more emotional about it than
maybe it was necessary.
That I realize that, I normally would have. But in the moment, I don't think about it. I just think like, oh, this is happening. And I feel this way about it. And then like, the next day or like 2 days later, then I'm like, oh,
she's here.
Oh, so that's what that was about. Okay. Oh. Yeah. And it happens like fairly consistently. And you'd think after how many years
that you'd be like aware
that I would have it figured out. But no. No.
What is something that you had to get used to when you got married and you had to live with a boy? Like me getting used to you not being prepared every month.
Sorry, I'm like snorting it.
Like that's something I had to get used to. Is there a boy equivalent for girls?
That's a good question.
That's a good question. Like things that I had to get used to, like emotionally, or just like things in general,
like about a boy.
Yeah, like boy exclusive things that you never would have known had you not lived with a boy.
You always leave the kitchen cabinets and or drawers open.
That might not be boy exclusive though. That might just be EJ exclusive.
Nah, that's a boy thing. I hear that about boys doing that all the time.
I wouldn't know.
It's true. Yeah, you'll be in the kitchen doing something.
That's light though. That's
and
not
then
that
you
bad.
like walk out of the kitchen and like there's like 4 cabinets open and like 2 drawers open.
And the fridge.
And the fridge.
The fridge?
Yeah.
But like you're like, oh, that's light. It's not. Like I don't know how to explain it, but when you walk into a situation and you see that,
it's chaotic.
Yeah, and it just like level 10 immediately, like 0 to 100. I don't know what it is, but it just should not be happening.
Agreed. This may not be a boy exclusive thing, but I hate the way you load the dishwasher. I hate it. It makes no sense to me.
I have a solution to that.
You know what you're gonna say. Don't even bother.
I don't want the solution.
Okay.
the solution is to do it my way.
My way or the highway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You've never shown me how you want it done.
But have you ever unloaded it after she's loaded it? Because then to me, you've seen.
But I'm not paying attention.
I don't like that. I don't like that. Should I intro the pod before we go in further on this? Because I could talk about this for
maybe
an hour.
Yeah, go into it. Intro.
Let me take a cleansing
good call,
breath
because I
first.
wouldn't have. Yeah.
Okay.
I would have skipped right past that.
We're like, new topic. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Big Girl Panties, the podcast where faith meets real life, and we dive into the heart of womanhood. We're your hosts. I'm Shaina. That's Priya. And we invite you to join us on embracing the messy, the complicated, and the beautiful aspects of life through a Christian lens and put on our big girl panties to tackle the tough stuff together. I feel like, are we on episode 10?
Yes.
Happy episode 10, guys.
Double digits.
Let's go. Wait, that means we won't have another big milestone. Well, I guess 50 will be a big milestone. I'll say 20 will be a big milestone, because then 21 will be a milestone, because then we'll have surpassed ourselves the last time. 50, but then our next huge milestone will be 100.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I hope we hit it.
What number should we do a live stream episode?
Well, you know what? I think it depends more on what the audience is feeling at that point in time.
I agree. Because if no one wants that, then why would we do it?
They'll want it. It's just when will they want it? Will they want it sooner or later?
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
But sorry, I just have to conclude the dishwasher thing.
Yes, please do.
I just think that in my humble opinion, for example, when I go to somebody's house, if I'm helping them out with something, and let's say, you have to unload it and load it back because things are piling up, I pay attention while I'm unloading to see where they put things so that I can load it back appropriately. And I don't understand how that isn't just a normalized thing.
Why would it be?
So that you could do things in a system that is helpful to the individual.
And honestly, the way that I do it would be helpful for the both of us, because my way, we're actually able to fit way more in the dishwasher than the way that you do it.
Then show me the way.
I will show you the way.
My thing is this. You've never complained about it, and you've never shown me how you want it done.
You know why? It's because when you put stuff in the dishwasher and then I come an hour or whatever after you to put something in the dishwasher and I see that you've done it your way, I usually end up just reorganizing it.
So that's your fault.
Maybe.
Okay, I think the lesson here is, next time you guys are doing it together and you should report back to me.
Okay.
I didn't know it was an issue.
It's a use issue.
I don't like the way she folds clothes.
Have you shown her the way?
I've told her that, and I've shown her the way.
You have.
Oh, okay.
And she still don't do it right.
No, I just don't fold your laundry anymore.
Oh.
True.
Yeah.
Touche.
So I should just stop loading the dishwasher.
Incorrect.
Okay.
I don't wear your clothes.
Yeah, I was going to say that's different.
We
you're both using
kitchens.
I don't eat from the bowls that you use, though.
What? Do you have your own set of bowls up there?
What?
Yeah, actually.
Really?
What?
We don't use the same forks or spoons.
What are you talking about?
You use the small forks. I use the long ones.
I use both.
Is that a
big
girl
spoon
thing?
or little spoon?
I was about to say, is that a girl thing, to only use the little cutlery? Because I only use the little cutlery. Small spoons, small forks. The knives are all one size.
That is upsetting. The thought of using a small spoon. Oh my! That's
small spoons are superior.
They are.
That's
because they could fit in your mouth.
How do you?
Yeah.
How do you taste anything?
Because
it tastes better because you're using a smaller spoon, and so you can savor it more.
You could
and
fit
it's just
one
more
grain
enjoyable.
of rice on a small spoon.
1 grain? How small?
You
Okay, I'm not talking about the little teaspoons. I'm talking about I'm very disappointed right now.
I don't know any dude that uses a small spoon.
No, small spoons for life.
I feel like boys use spoons more in general than girls do, though.
You think so?
I do. At least in my household, it's you want a spoon or a fork? Spoon. The guys, my dad and my brother just always want a spoon.
Interesting.
You're eating rice.
But I feel
You're
like
eating
there's
soup.
certain
Obviously a spoon,
foods that
I'm a
go
fork
with...
guy.
Oh. I feel like
Yeah,
a
you
lot
are.
of the men that I know, I don't know if it's a Caribbean man thing, but a lot of them that I know will always ask for a spoon.
No, I feel like spoons go with certain foods.
Like cereal.
Yeah.
No, obviously cereal. Who eats cereal with a fork? A psychopath. But like
I've been using chopsticks a lot, actually.
Oh.
for cereal.
No, not for cereal, Priya.
Oh, well that's
It was just a random thought.
oh. Well, that's fine. Chopsticks are acceptable. No, but like okay, so like pasta, for example. What do you eat? Like mac and
You guys
cheese,
are so
spoon or
funny.
fork?
Fork.
All mac and cheese.
Fork.
Fork.
Because
Interesting.
then you have an option of stabbing or scooping.
Exactly.
You can't stab with a
But
spoon.
I will pick fork for most of these because I think like I just enjoy forks.
I like forks.
Sometimes this sounds so specific, but if I'm eating basmati rice and lentils, but it's specifically like leftover basmati rice and lentils, I'm going to use a spoon because I like to drizzle a little bit of olive oil and salt on the whole thing. And then you got to stir it up really well. And then I'm like, I already just used the spoon. But it's literally only if it's leftover. That's so niche. It's not even funny.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on from that.
I'm like in my mind I'm thinking of all of the things that I would eat
A fork
with a
versus
spoon versus a fork.
You are a spoon girl.
Oh,
I like
such a
spoons.
fork girl.
I just feel like the fork has more accuracy.
Accuracy.
Precision.
Yeah, like I feel like when I'm using a fork, it's like using a freshly sharpened pencil. But a spoon is like a wide brush.
I hate that made so much sense to me. But like I was like,
now I'm ready to move on.
Like I knew exactly. It's like I got that so hard.
My dexterity just feels better when I have a fork.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Ay, okay.
Anyway, did you have a VGP moment to share with the class? I'm a little loopy today.
Not really.
Okay.
It was, I don't know, it was just a week. I am a little bit proud of myself because I've been pretty consistent this week with in the mornings getting up and like spending some time reading the Bible and
I
stuff.
was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So that's been kind of cool. I'm kind of proud of myself for that. But other than that, no, it's been a week. I have nothing to report.
That's okay. Sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you sorry, I'm gonna get nosy about this. Are you reading specific are you in a specific book? Are you just doing a reading? Are you following a devotional?
I'm kind of following a devotional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one?
It's not a devotional.
What?
You just lying on pod, eh? On air, lies and deceit.
No, like it is
I'm so
like
lost.
I'm using it as a devotional, but it's not.
Okay.
So it's the book that Abba wrote. Which
but I feel like that's kind of a devotional.
that's what I'm saying. It
But
kind of is, but it's
it's
not.
an exclusive.
Yeah. Yeah, it reads kind of like a devotional.
Yes.
They're like very short and like, based on like something in scripture and like it's all, there and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I
love
but
that
it's
you're
like
doing
it's
that.
not like technically a devotional. Yeah, I love that I'm doing it too.
Good for
Yeah,
you.
it's been really it's been really nice.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah. But that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes a week is just a week and that's that.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like we're shorter. Usually we have more days in between
This is
recordings. This is a shorter week for us.
Yeah.
So
There's been not as much time
for life to life.
for life to life.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Okay.
been no major events.
Sometimes no news is good news, so that's fine.
Yeah, because when I think about it, there's
You've
like
had
a
a
few
lot of life
times this
lately.
week that like I could have yeah, just on somebody and I didn't.
Praise God for Jesus.
Yeah. So yeah.
Cool.
Life's just been life.
Yeah.
What about you?
Ooh, I had like a fun little God moment happen this week.
Okay.
And so I'll count it because something I recently, and it's funny how quickly God works because it was like a recent thing that I decided I was going to start praying about. And I was like on day 1 or 2 of this. And I've been praying, Lord, please help me to be able to hear your voice so I understand what that's like, but show me it in different ways. Because I've definitely experienced God like literally saying something to me like, this did not happen because you this. Like, do you understand? And it's cool, but it's also very confronting. But I was just thinking about it a lot. Like, how do I know that am I ready to hear God's voice? Am I in the mind frame? All these things. So I've been praying about that. And what day was it? Wednesday? Is today? No, what day is today?
Thursday.
Okay, so yeah, it was yesterday. It was literally yesterday that this happened. I went to work, and so I had a gap between my clients. So I was like, I'm going to go home from the office, chill out for a bit, and then I'll come back. I had like in-person clients in the morning, in-person clients in the afternoon. And I was planning to leave my stuff there, and it sounds so silly, but like it just hit me in a big way. I was planning to leave like my laptop, my iPad, just like leave it in my office because I'm like, oh, I'm going to be back in like 2 hours. I'm about to leave. Like I picked up my purse and I'm starting to walk towards the door. And all of a sudden it was just this like overwhelming, you need to take your stuff. And I was like, no, like, why would I take my stuff? I'm going to be back in 2 hours. Like, I don't want to pack up my whole bag. And I was like, take your stuff. Like, just take it. Don't question it. Just take your stuff. And I was like, okay. So I'm packing up all my stuff and I'm annoyed because I'm like, I don't really think I need to be doing this right now. And in my head, I'm like, am I just being like hyper vigilant or something? So I pack up my stuff. I leave. I get home. And so I live like 15 minutes away. I get home and our clinic manager messages me and she's like, oh, like all your afternoon clients are sick. And so they want to switch to virtual, all of them. And I was like, look at God. Because I would have had to like hustle all the way back to get my stuff to sit in the office when I don't need to be in the office. And I'd much rather be working from home. And it was just kind of like, okay, God, thank you so much. And it reminded me of that verse, before you call, I will answer. But also just, I've been praying about that. Lord, help me to actually be able to have instances where I can hear you and like know your voice. And that was just kind of like a funny little God thing. So that's cool moment. It was fun.
I love moments like that.
Yeah.
How do you hear God's voice, Priya?
Like, how does God speak to me?
Yeah, how do you hear his voice? How do you know it's him?
Well, some of the time it's because I just know that that's not a thought that I would have had.
Fair.
Like, that's not a conclusion that I would have come to, or that's not a thought, or like a
conclusion you would have drawn on your own accord.
Yeah. Like, that just would not have been my choice.
Yeah.
Or like to think a certain way about something, or like feel a certain way about somebody or something like that. Like, that would not have been my choice. So that didn't come from me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how it happens a lot. A lot of the times God speaks to me through song lyrics.
Oh, I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That one's been pretty consistent, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, there's a good choice and a bad choice that happens in my head on a consistent basis. And the good choice is just not me. And I feel like it's pretty simple. Like, I feel like there's always that wrestle of, I want to do XYZ, but then that nagging voice that says, no, you shouldn't. I don't consider that to be me. I think in my natural state, I'm usually wanting to do the not good thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I think that the Holy Spirit speaks to us through our, I guess I'll call it our subconscious. But, in cartoons where it's like kind of what you're saying, there's like the little angel and the little devil. I truly believe like that little voice in your head, I think the Holy Spirit channels through that a lot of the time.
Totally.
And I think you're both right for sure. If you're like, there's very clearly a better choice here, or like a higher road, or just something that definitely is not something I would have initially had a thought of, absolutely. I find I also hear from the Lord a lot through just the word itself, which like, duh, it's his word. But sometimes a specific scripture will like pop into my head, or it'll be in my devotional for that day or my Bible study. And that's always cool too. But it's so interesting. And that's why I've been praying about it, because there's so many ways. And I've been kind of like, show me all the ways, because like, I just want to know. Yeah. It's so fascinating.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah,
and
it
a
is.
blessing.
It's funny, like sometimes it can like catch you off guard. You ever have that?
Yes.
You're like,
okay.
whoa. Hello?
You, JC? Yeah.
I don't get that.
You don't get that?
Really,
happen? Really?
No. I think it's pretty steady with me. I think sometimes I might get upset and be like, I don't hear you. And I think about it and be like, never mind.
You're like, actually, I was.
Never mind.
I was just
like,
ignoring.
actually, I constantly do.
I do hear you. I just chose not to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think, like, for example, like one of those like out of the blue moments would be like a few years ago, with that whole situation at the church with like the rock thing.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Fill me
So
in on the tea later.
so I was in this situation where, how do I tell this quickly?
She was in a confrontation, or there was a situation happening where opposing opinions were at the forefront.
Okay.
I could have handled it two different ways. One was I could have handled it two different ways. Neither would have been wrong.
It was with somebody in authority.
Yeah. Neither would have
Okay.
been wrong. And the two options were to either say something about what was happening or not say something about what was happening. Again, neither options would have been bad, but I did not know what to do, and I was so conflicted. And I was praying about it, and essentially God brought to mind the story of Moses and the Israelites in the desert.
Yeah.
And God was like, you can say something, but if you do, it would be like striking the rock instead of just speaking to the rock. And I was like, oh wow, okay.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was very bizarre.
Yeah.
It was very strange. Yeah. But cool though.
Yeah.
It was one of those moments like I would put that in like the top position of like, in that moment, God had never spoken, or I had never like felt God speak to me so
Like that.
clearly like that in that moment. Like that was wild.
Yeah. I love
And that was definitely an instance of like, okay, that really didn't come from me because of what the heck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
Mm-hmm.
I like this topic. This is interesting.
Yeah.
What times do you, or when do you find it the hardest or the most difficult to hear God?
Like time of day?
No, like state of being. like what situations
Oh.
do you find it tough? So like for example,
When I'm stressed.
Oh.
when it comes to a decision for me that isn't right or wrong.
Because then you feel like it's not clear.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think for me, it's when I've already been trying to workshop solutions on my own. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and this is my plan. And I'm like, but God, like anytime you want to speak, but then I like bustle ahead.
Like catch up.
Yeah, I'm like, quickly. and now, like, just saying that out loud, I'm realizing I think that I think all of us, like, we're built to hear God. Like, he made us for connection with him. So we're all like, we all have it in us. We all have the gene. But it's a matter of, are we being still enough? Because he doesn't, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes he's like like gives you a little slap across the face, like wake up. But in general, I mean, we see so many times that he's described as like that still small voice, as gentle, as peaceful, as quiet. And I think it's a matter of, have I slowed down enough? Is he like calling after me, but I'm sprinting ahead and like throwing things behind me and like making a ruckus that he can't hear? What?
There's supposed to be a tornado warning. Yeah, so that's probably...
so
That's
loud.
rain?
Yeah.
Oh, but it's lovely. I hope everyone can hear.
Probably
I mean,
not.
not good that it's a tornado, because that's a window right there.
That sounds so nice, though.
I think this is God speaking to us right now. I truly believe it.
Thunderstorm Pod.
Oh my gosh.
God is good.
I
always
love thunderstorms.
No, but guys, no, I'm sorry. I'm having a moment here because, I mean, they don't know, but you guys know I came in here a mess. I'm kind of grumpy. All the things. I always put on thunderstorm sounds and I'm like really stressed and anxious and want to calm down.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So I feel like, that's why I'm like, I feel like God's speaking and we're talking about it.
But that's how he works, though.
Hey,
That's
my
how he
God
works.
is good. Yes, he does. He does work like that. Makes me so happy. He's such a good God for real.
It's
like
true.
for real, for real.
Oh, I love a good thunderstorm. Oh my gosh.
I know.
Only if I'm inside, like home.
Oh, for sure.
No, obviously.
Cozy place.
Yeah.
I like being in the car if it's parked.
Oh, I love being in a parked car in the rain.
Like with like some yummy food or like a nice
Yeah.
drink.
Nah.
Oh, I love it.
Because then you gotta
But like
go from
intentionally
car
in
to
the
home.
car. Like I know I don't have to
You
go
don't have to rush,
anywhere.
like you're just chilling.
Yeah.
If I had a
that's the
garage,
best.
then maybe.
I see what you're saying.
If not,
but
I gotta travel from car to
to home.
to home in the storm.
I like to practice singing in the car when it's raining. I'll pick a track and I'll just like sing, because then I like when I record it, like you could hear like the ambient rain in the background. I don't know, it's just like a thing.
That's how I feel about the shower.
That's kind of cool.
Like the water in
yeah.
the shower. It's like the crowd.
Oh, okay.
Screaming.
I like that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just trying to think, because again, first of all, I just really love that story where like a Bible story came to mind. It's like, well,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes, let me gather my thought here, because sometimes I think, like you guys have both kind of said, it's hard when there's more than one way you could take or something like that. But something I've noticed, like sometimes God is very direct. Like, for example, the other day I was like, no, take your stuff, like pick it all up, let's go. But I found that a lot of times when I have experienced that, God calls me to action first and then says, wait for part B. And I've literally heard him say, and this was a time when I think it was the time that I was the most like, oh my gosh, like he did. That was totally God. I was really upset about something. I was unsure of what to do. I was kind of at a crossroads, and it was something that was weighing heavily on my heart. I'd been praying and fasting about it. Like it was this whole bit. And God was literally like, you're sitting here and you're crying, and like I hear you, but it was almost this idea of, I'm going to do something, but I need you to act on faith first. So you already know what you're supposed to do based on what I would have told you in my word. Like I know you know what to do, but you're being scared. So go do the first step, and from there I will confirm to you if it's right or wrong. Wow. And I was like, what if that was just in my head? And then I was like, no, I like banish that in the name of Jesus, because it's like you can. I think a lot of the time too, we're like, oh my gosh, that was probably just in my head. No, it wasn't. Mm-hmm. And when I did do that, and I took the first step of faith it was hard to do, but I knew it needed to be done. Oh my gosh, God laid it out like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Here's all the reasons. There's your proof that you've been asking for a sign. Here's several, but I don't just hand out signs. I need you to act in faith first. That was like something I will forever try to live by now. It's hard because I'm like, I like having signs. I like knowing for sure. But, yeah, I think he gives us choice, even in him speaking to us, because that's just who he is. He's a God who loves us so much that he gives us free will. And so he'll say, like, for example, yeah, there's two ways to approach this. You could strike the rock or you could talk to it. Or, you know, yeah, I'll give you an answer, but first I need you to do such and such. And then I'll give you options. And I need you to act on, yes, your dependence on me, but also your knowledge of me as your father.
Mm-hmm. I think it's also like for me especially, because the control freakiness is real.
Control freaking.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I'm not going to give you like step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to give you 1. Mm-hmm. And then like I'll let you know about the 4 others when
you need to know.
When you need to know. And it's like, in my mind, but I need to know now. Because I can't do step 1 until I know 2, 3, 4, and 5. Like, in reality, no, I don't. But in my mind and in my heart, oh my gosh, yes, I do.
Right.
So, like, yeah, that idea of, like, a step of faith, like, just 1, like, the first one.
Yeah.
Is, like...
Yeah.
Annoying.
It's so annoying.
But that's how he teaches us dependence.
Yeah.
Like, if we know things, we will immediately say, oh, it was because of me. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm reading the book of Romans right now, and I'm going to be in the book of Romans for a long time, by the way. Like, I've been in it since, February, March? It's been a long time. It's going to be a long time. There's a lot in that book. But in that book, Paul says, like, oh, there's a reason that salvation is set up the way it is. And it's because if we were able to connect any part of it back to us, we would totally remove God from the equation. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like this so that no man can boast. Mm-hmm. And I think that's exactly what happens in situations like that. It's God is saying, no, I'll give you like the flashlight for the 1 step, and then you're going to go back into pitch blackness because I need you to know that was not you. Like, humble yourself real quick.
Well, and I feel like not only so that no man can boast, but also when I think about it in my mind, I feel like I need to know step 1 through 5 in order to be able to then confidently take step 1. When in reality, if I knew step 1 through 5, I probably wouldn't take step 1. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And nor would you be consulting God about it.
Yeah, that too.
Don't you realize, like, some of the times that we are in our deepest, darkest moments, that's when it's like you are clinging to God. Mm-hmm. And you're right. There would be so many things where we're like, that's how that's going to work out? Are you sure, God? Are you sure, God? Nah, that can't be.
Or like, okay, so I get that it's going to work out, but I don't like the way that it's going to get there.
Yeah.
To the eventual working out. Like, let me figure out another way to get there, you know? But
yeah,
it's not my ways.
Yeah.
I mean, if we knew all the steps, we probably wouldn't want to do them.
That's what I'm saying.
Jesus knew all the steps. It was like, if it's your will, can you take it from me?
Yeah, he didn't want to do it.
Literally.
He didn't want to do it. So.
Yeah.
It's true.
Ooh, I love it.
I think the listeners should leave comments about how they hear God.
I'd like that. I want to know.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Okay. You've heard the man. Drop the comments
request.
now. Yeah.
Let us know.
Engagement.
Please and thank you.
Yeah.
So,
shall we move on?
Yeah, let's.
Okay. So I put together a little like list, and you can add to it.
Okay.
Of like big sis advice type of things / things I wish that I knew or knew but like accepted in my like early 20s.
Okay. I'm excited to hear this.
Okay. And some of them are silly but important.
Okay.
For example, at the top of the list, this is something that everybody needs to know. At least every woman needs to know.
Okay.
Front to back.
Oh, honey, this is preschool knowledge if you are not doing front
but
to
it's
back.
not.
What do you mean it's not? I hope they know what we mean.
There are some people out here
I know what you mean, so
Okay.
I would hope all the women
wondering why.
know what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I might only know that because I have baby sisters. Had baby sisters.
That's why.
Right.
And my mom said front to back.
Front to back.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's important. Next one. If you're getting a pedicure and they pull out anything that resembles a cheese grater, get yourself up and walk away.
I love the cheese grater.
I hate it.
Why? Why do we have to go away?
Because it's slicing your skin. And actually, legally speaking, I don't think that spas in Ontario, at least in Canada, but possibly in Ontario, are allowed to use them because they run the risk of taking off way too much skin and causing damage. They can actually nick you and you can bleed.
Oh, wow.
Which then can cause a huge problem because if it's in a spa that's not cleaning all of their equipment properly and their tubs properly, then if you have something open on your foot and you put your foot back in there, now you've got a huge issue. But yeah, no, they're highly problematic.
Wow, that's wild.
And not only that, but if it's like a rough spot on your foot and you like slice that off, it's not actually gonna really, really help you because it's just gonna come back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Highly problematic.
You need to do a deep dive for the listeners of like the spa nightmares. All this.
Okay, well that will be
trade
episodes 11 through 100 because I could go on. Yeah. No cheese graters.
Okay.
Incredibly problematic.
Okay. Ma'am, yes, ma'am. What else you got?
Oh, if you're getting a mani and a pedi, watch when they pull out the nail file, because if it's not brand new, they should not be using it on you. Mm-hmm. Like a used nail file, and there are so many places that do that. It's disgusting. And I know that like as girls we all have this thing where like we dread going to the nail salon because they're going to do something that we don't like, but then we don't want to say anything because but like say it. Request the brand new nail file because that's disgusting. That's really nasty.
Fair.
Okay, next. Not every outfit needs to be short/tight/revealing.
Yeah.
You can look hot and not have everything out.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah, you don't have to put all the parts on show to be like, look at this. I promise you it's like if you
or
know,
like
you know.
or just like pick one thing, because here's the thing, I'm also not going to say that you need to like wear a paper bag, like
no,
like look hot, you know what I mean, but like pick something. I feel like proportion and balance is important when it comes to outfits, you know, like if you're wearing something that's like lower cut, let's say, then like wear it with something else that like balances that out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
that's how I feel.
Mm-hmm. I just think in general, I don't know where that, well, I guess it's come from society as a general statement, but I think the idea that to look hot or to look attractive or whatever the case may be, you have to be like flaunting things. I think that that's just not the case. And I think that you can be very like, I don't know what the word would be, like alluring and like gorgeous and all these things and be comfortable. Because the thing is, I don't think we're fully comfortable when, like, if you feel like you have to keep tugging and tugging, like you're not as confident anymore. Mm-hmm. Like you're constantly worried about it. And I just think that there's so much more to a person that makes up attractiveness than just like what body parts are on display. Mm-hmm. Like that, I feel like that is demeaning your attractiveness level to just that, when there's so many other things about your essence that are fabulous, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what comes to mind? Okay, I realize this is not for like cleavage, but like more for like accessories and whatever. But like, do you remember that quote from, I think it was from Coco Chanel? And she said something along the lines of like, before you leave the house, look in the mirror and take one thing off. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Like about like accessories, like don't do too much kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like you could apply that same kind of idea to putting together an outfit.
Yes and
like
no.
Like balance. Do you know what I mean? Like
balance, yes. But I think if you're already in like a and when I say a basic outfit, I think basics are great. So it's not like
love basics.
This is a basic outfit. But if you're wearing, you know, like classic t-shirt, jeans, cute cardigan, cute shoes, like what are you going to take off?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It applies more to like accessories.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But I'm just saying the idea of
less is more.
And like
I think less is more.
Balance and like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that can be taken the wrong way.
Not less is more when it comes to like material.
Because right now they're wearing less and we're seeing more.
Less is more.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little too much more. I think I'm going to tie that one up. I think it's okay to lean into simplicity. You don't need to be flashy, whether that be with like a lot of skin or a lot of like jewels or a lot of whatever. There's something about, I'm going to use the word modest. I don't mean it necessarily like modesty, which that's a whole other conversation for another day. But like a modest silhouette, meaning like there's not a lot of moving parts. It just all comes together in a very classic way. Like there's just something so timeless about it. Mm-hmm. It gives rich, it gives classy, it gives elegant, and I love it.
If I had to relate this whole idea to like me being young, I think that I would say to myself, like, okay, Priya, really be honest with yourself about like why you're wearing this particular outfit. Because I know that I would have said like, well, it makes me feel good. Like I feel confident in it. And I think that's where I would have said, okay, get really honest with yourself, because it would have been, is it you in the outfit? Like you, like this actual outfit is making you feel like confident. Like, yeah, like I look really good in this. Or is it the attention that me in this outfit is
garnering,
is giving me the illusion of being confident? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So is it actually me in this outfit, or is it the way I'm being perceived in this outfit?
Right.
That's giving me confidence.
Actually, with that, something on my list was confidence is internal, not external.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's exactly what that means.
Yeah.
Like no matter how good you look in an outfit, if you yourself are not feeling confident, sorry, it's not going to work for you.
Mm-hmm.
You might be able to fake it till you make it a little bit, but the outfit is not doing you favors in that moment.
Yeah. And it's funny when I look back at like some of those pictures and stuff, like I know now looking back, being honest with myself in hindsight, that like I didn't actually feel confident. It was the external validation, attention, whatever, that was giving me the illusion of feeling confident. But I know that internally I wasn't actually feeling confident, because I remember I look back and I know that I was sucking in all of those outfits the whole night. Which is hilarious, because me like then I was like this.
Yeah.
Like I was sucking in for what? What was I sucking in? I don't know. But I was.
That makes me so sad.
It is what it is. But I was, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I say, be honest with yourself.
That was a good one.
You know, I think I would add that to the list, actually, of things that I just wish that I knew back then. Mm-hmm. That being honest with yourself is one of the most difficult things, I would say, more than being honest with other people. Because I think that you are the easiest person for you to manipulate.
Absolutely.
You can convince yourself of just about anything.
Well, if you think about it too, we gaslight ourselves constantly. Negative self-talk is gaslighting.
Yeah.
We do it over and over and over.
It's true.
Yeah.
So how do you practically do that? Because this is nice in theory. Mm-hmm. But how do you be honest with yourself. What does that actually look like?
I feel like you have to not be afraid of yourself.
I think, and every time we have a like, what's the practical application? I'm going to start off with my most therapist-y answer, but it's important.
It's good.
And that's like, you need to practice the art of awareness. And so if that means you have to write a reminder on your mirror saying, think about this deeply before you walk out the house, or heart check. Do you actually feel good in this? Like questions like that where you can visually cue yourself is so important. From there, you have to create a system of some sort. Like, how am I having this conversation with myself? What are my boundaries with myself? Like, in this conversation, I'm not allowed to put myself down. In this conversation, I'm not allowed to this. In this conversation, I'm not allowed to do that. This is something that I would not suggest for people to do on the fly. If you recognize, like, yeah, this is something that I need to work on, write out your plan and have your plan accessible. So it might be, the awareness thing, the reminder, the boundaries for yourself, how you're addressing it. Sorry, my foot is like flinging around.
It's keeping track.
Yeah, it is. And then from there, it's always important to have a contingency plan. So to get nitty gritty with this type of stuff, if it's specifically about clothing, come up with a good outfit formula of something that you know you look good in, you feel comfortable in, and you know that it's actually something that you actually feel confident in because you like it and not because other people might like it. So that's what I would say. It would be a little plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
I struggle with that one, definitely. The things that you tell me I look good in versus what I feel good in are like polar opposites. And I've been trying to say that when she's like, ooh, you should get this. No, I don't like it.
But is it because you actually feel good in the things that you say you feel good in? Or is it that you just feel comfortable in them because you don't feel like, because you feel safe or like hidden?
Huh?
Okay, the things that you say you feel good in. Do you actually feel good in them? Or do you just feel comfortable in them because you feel like safe enough or like hidden enough in them?
I feel like I haven't even another way to phrase that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a really good.
Yeah, try.
So is it that you actually feel confident? I'm going to help you out and even say, do you actually feel confident and comfortable in them? Or are those clothes a coping mechanism for you in which you feel like certain things are being hidden away and so you feel safer?
Nah, I feel confident and comfortable at the same time.
Okay.
And that together equates feeling good.
Okay.
I feel more swaggy when I'm in that state.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, I get that. When you're wearing a cute outfit, you walk different.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like I get that.
But with that being said, because I know we're saying all this, don't be afraid to step out and try something new, knowing that just because you tried it on doesn't mean you have to stick with it. Like, try something new. Try something that somebody would say, oh, I think this will look so good on you, whatever. Try it and have no expectations of it. If you decide it's not your vibe, then it's not your vibe and you don't have to do it. Or if it's a trend and everybody's doing it, go ahead, try it out if you want to be a little trendy queen. But if you put it on and you realize, this isn't not for me, or this would be for me if I could lose 5 pounds, like then just chill. Not everything that is for everyone has to be for you.
Well, not everything is for everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think on that note too, like bringing it back to the original thing, like, you know, things being like short or tight or revealing or whatever. Like, I mean, everyone is different and everyone's personal convictions about what they wear is different. I don't think that you should apply your personal thoughts and preferences to somebody else for the most part. I mean, I don't want to see everything that you have to offer.
Yeah.
But like, for example, I know that there are some people who like would never wear a crop top, for example. Like that's just not their comfort zone. That's like a little too much for them, whatever the case may be. I love a good crop top, but that's me. You know what I mean? So I just think that like, yeah, it's okay if you're, I don't know, you don't have to change everything. You don't need to go to the extreme, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, the funny thing is I almost feel like I'm struggling a little bit with this one.
Okay.
Because I think that everyone is on a personal journey in which conviction needs to take place, or that awareness needs to take place, so you know, okay, this is not for me, or maybe, you know, I don't think that this is what God would have me wearing in this season of my life, etc. And I don't think that you should ever judge other people for where they're at and what they're wearing, etc. Actually, just don't judge, period. The end. But I do think that there comes a level in, you know, in Christianity, for example, where there is a certain level of, I don't want to use the word calling out per se, but maybe calling out. Like, you might be in a place where you need me as your friend, in love, hefty on the in love, to come and be like, hey, why do you feel like you have to wear this? Because you might not be at a place where you can ask yourself that question. Mm-hmm. And so I guess it's not that, like, God holds us all to a specific standard. There's certain things that we just know, okay, this is that's that. But I would say, yeah, if somebody else is at a different place with that and they are comfortable with crop tops and you're not, don't come at them for wearing a crop top. But if you understand somebody and you know them and you know the journey they're on or what they're trying to pursue, I think it is okay to be like, hey, I know this is something you've been working on, like, talk to me about it. Not even like, hey, based on what you told me, like, you shouldn't be wearing that. I don't think shouldn'ts should be coming out of anybody's mouth, or even shoulds, but just want to check in based on what you said. How are you feeling about this? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. And again, I think like within reason too, like based on what you know about that person, like you said, like, for example, if you saw me wearing an outfit that involved a crop top, let's say, because like I just don't want anyone to be out here thinking that like if you wear a crop top it's a sin, because it's not. Like,
I think it's a sin if God told you to stop.
Yeah, if it's like a personal thing between you guys, that like that's different. But as a blanket statement,
wait, what is
I'm not
crop
willing
top?
to say that.
You know, the short midriff.
A crop top is what I'm wearing right now.
That's a shirt.
It's
It
okay.
is a shirt.
They're a shorter line shirt. So let's say the shirt goes all the way down here. Typically, crop top, they like cut it.
So it's half a shirt.
It's cropped. Yes, it's
not
it's shortened.
half a shirt, but it's
a shortened shirt.
Yeah,
and often when you wear it, you could see your cute little belly,
a little,
your little midriff, which is very cute.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm following now.
But yeah, like if you saw me wearing an outfit that involved like a crop top, for example, I don't think that you would think twice about it.
Probably not.
But if you saw me wearing an outfit and like my boobs were like all the way out,
Yeah.
and you were not in your home, and the skirt was really short, like you couldn't bend over, and the crop was all the, I would be like,
then
hey,
you would be like,
what's going on?
Okay, hang on, what's going on here?
I would, yeah.
Like that would be
because it's out of character
different.
for you,
Yeah,
and not something that I have come to expect.
Right.
But also, that being said, I wouldn't like look at you and be like, oh my gosh, what the heck is wrong with Priya? Like, I wouldn't. Like, I wouldn't judge it. I would just be curious. And I think that is where we need to approach these things, from a place of curiosity and not a place of judgment. So, hey, you told me this, but now I'm seeing this. Like, I'm curious what happened. Not, oh, you shouldn't be, or you should, yada.
But what's wrong with judgment?
I think that judgment in itself is not necessarily a bad thing, but we do it wrong. I don't think humans have at all mastered godly judgment, and we don't do anything by the book. We get it too mixed up with our personal opinions. If the Bible had written out, your shirt needs to be this long, your skirt needs to be 1 cubit, like whatever the Bible was supposed to say about it, then yes, I would tell people, listen, that's not appropriate based on what the Bible says. That would be judgment, but it would be godly judgment. Because we are infusing our own like values and ideas and thoughts, I don't think humans can approach judgment correctly. And so that's why I feel as though we need to take a step back and approach things in love and with curiosity rather than putting our standards on and convictions onto things that other people may not have had. Like the Holy Spirit has got it. I don't need to bulldoze the Holy Spirit for that.
I think I definitely disagree.
Really?
Yeah. I think when the Bible says you will be judged on how you judge, I think that's the kicker. So if you're nitpicky in your judgment, right? Like cubits, how many cubits is your skirt, right? I think
it's not cubits. It's like a massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just being silly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the arc
maxi
is like
skirts
cubits
to the max. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
But I think if that is how you judge, if you judge like ruthlessly, then you will be judged in the same way. But I don't think not judging is the route, because we judge everything. Like judging is a part of human nature.
Well, yeah, like we exercise judgment on a daily basis. We have to. It's like a survival thing. Like
so
we have to.
So I think, yes, we shouldn't be judging everything with like a fine-tooth comb to just see the flaws in everyone else.
Well, that's nitpicking. That's not judging.
I think nitpicking comes from judgment.
Yeah, but I think the problem is, to me, what I understand it as is nitpicking takes over judgment. If I come to Priya and I say, hey, what's going on? And from that place of curiosity, I guess technically I have made a judgment. And in my judgment, I understand that that's not how Priya typically dresses. So I'm going to address it. But I'm not judging, I'm not condemning her.
I think they're two different things. But it might be me being semantic-y. Like, I think judging is fine. I think being judge, jury, and executioner
not
all in one is a different story. We don't have the authority to condemn anybody.
I think that what happens a lot of the time when people pass judgment and it ends up being like a negative thing is because there's no relationship involved, which means that there's no real understanding of that person. There's no real knowledge and awareness of who they are in their life and their character and their personality and all of those kinds of things. And because there's none of that, then that means that there's no love involved in it.
Absolutely.
And so I think that like when that's the case, then yeah, your judgment might be unwelcomed.
Yeah.
Or unwarranted, maybe. But like,
or your opinion.
Sure. Well, that's another thing. I feel like sometimes it comes across as judgment. Well, maybe it is. How do I word this? When people share their like opposing opinion on something that you're doing or wearing, and it comes across as very judgy because it's like, well, I wouldn't wear that. Okay.
Yeah.
So then don't.
Right. Simple solution, people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I really loved what you just said about the idea that there's no relationship, there's no love there. And so it comes across the wrong way.
Yeah.
Because even if we think back, okay, godly judgment or what God would actually do, it is in love because, 1 John 4:8, God is love. Like it is wrapped up into what judgment is. He judges us because he loves us. He judges us because he doesn't want us to be wayward and going off and doing all these things. He judges us because he wants us.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows that to come before him, we need to be like he cannot dwell in certain things. And so he wants us to be able to like, no, I want you to come back to me. And so I have to show you that you're doing this wrong.
Yeah. I feel like 9 times out of 10, in order to like judge somebody in like the good way, like the uplifting kind of way, I think that you do have to have a level of relationship with that person.
Oh, absolutely.
And then I think that most of the times you do.
I think that like really like seeps into your heart, like I received it so well type of judgment. Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like we're misconstruing. Is that the right word? Construing?
Yeah. Construing
the word judgment.
Well, easy answer. I'm going to look up a definition.
Like, for example, if we didn't judge, then actually, no, here, I'll say it like this. A lot of these pastors in leadership roles are getting away with certain things because people are saying, I'm not supposed to judge.
That's why I said most of the time. Because I think that
is important.
I think that is the exception.
I don't think I think judging is a fundamental thing that we need to do. Especially as Christians, we're supposed to judge each other. I think what you guys are talking about is
condemning
each other off of our judgment.
But I think we're saying the same thing in different ways, because to me, if I say, like, if I come to you in love and with curiosity, I must have in my head deduced, and okay, the definition really quick, because this is going to make more sense once I say this. I almost read my password out loud.
Do it.
So judgment, the ability to make considered decisions or come to sensible conclusions. Mm-hmm. I must have made a judgment in my brain, come to a sensible conclusion that something is off there. I think that's not typically what happens, or maybe this person doesn't know this, etc. Right? I have made the judgment. Now to call it out, that's when I should be approaching it with love and curiosity and like, hey, let's talk about this. How are you feeling? Why did this happen? If I talk to you about something, like, how do you feel about it now that we've said that, or like now that I've approached you with this, is there any way I could have shared it with you in a way that's different? Is there anything I could do to help you? Like, that's why I'm saying, like, the love and curiosity piece. But I guess initially we would have had to make that judgment of like, something seems amok.
I feel like that's a small piece, because like, what about reprimanding somebody or rebuking somebody? Like, let's say you're in a church and you don't have a relationship with somebody, but you see them doing something that is clear cut. This is wrong, right?
But you said clear cut. What we're talking about is not clear cut.
But that's my point. The judgment thing goes across all spectrums, you know?
I think that I think that there are so many different situations, and I think that you have to use discernment, and I think that you have to have wisdom with these kinds of things. I think that the tier of judgment, if you will, that we've been talking about is like, you see somebody in whatever church, let's say, and you know, you've only seen them a couple of times and you don't really know them, and you know, you're not going to go up to them and start
wagging your finger,
right? Like, you don't have the place to do that. You don't have any relationship with them, and it's not going to come across as being constructive or uplifting or done in love, because you have no place to be able to speak to them like that. I think that what you're talking about is like on a different like tier, which I think is different. I think that we've just been talking about the same thing, but at like different
spectrum ends.
Yeah.
I think personally, I don't like the idea of don't judge, because I don't think that's biblical to not judge. However, how we judge, I think, is important. And I think that's why it says the measure in which you judge, the same measure will be done to you.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're out here judging without grace, then don't expect grace in return. Right? So I think, to your point, Shaina, what you're talking about is judging with grace, wisdom, understanding, all the characteristics that come with being a godly person, and you apply that to your judgment, then I think you end up in that scenario of loving. But I think the judgment is there regardless. Now, what you do with it and how you exercise that judgment, I think, is where the conversation then becomes different.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, me too.
I think this is another area where we have to like be really honest with ourselves, because there's times when, like, you know, you'll be like, like, I just had to say something, you know, judgment, you know, kind of thing. But like, you know, I did it in love.
Did you?
But it's like love for who?
Absolutely.
Love for that person genuinely, or actually love for yourself because it made you feel good to be able to essentially put that person down.
That was definitely me coming up.
That was you?
Yeah. My peoples say I have the shotgun approach in how I deal out.
That does not surprise me one bit.
Right? Shocking.
And I think in maturing, you realize, because at the time, it's like, I'm just going to say it like it is. You know, like, if your feelings are hurt, tough cookies, this is how the world is, right? But after a while, you realize that there is a sense of, like,
There's no love in that.
Personal pride and accomplishment of knowing that, like, I keep it real.
Yeah.
You know? When it's unnecessary. Because you can say the same thing gently and it'll probably resonate more with the person than the scar that you leave from either embarrassing them or just hurting their feelings, or they might not have been
doing
prepared.
it the right way, but also doing it at the right time.
Yeah.
Like at the right moment.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Timing is everything. Tone is everything.
Tone.
Tone.
I'm still working at it.
My personal rule for all this is if I have not shown Jesus to that person, I should not be showing them judgment. Like if they have not like in some way encountered Jesus through me, and it doesn't have to be like this huge like, have you heard of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, but like if they have not felt the love of Christ in some way from me, I should think about that and take a step back before I'm going to approach that other topic.
That's good.
And one last point for me.
Yes.
I will say, I think judgment as Christians is reserved for Christians.
Yes.
We're not supposed to be out here judging people who don't subscribe to Christianism.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that's
100%.
a very important fact. So if you are a Christian and it's somebody who is not a Christian, keep your judgment to yourself. But
Agreed.
if you claim Jesus and the same standards I do, I'm a judge.
No, we're not.
I'm a judge. I'm
No,
a
we're
whole judge.
We are, just with grace and wisdom.
Okay.
Take it back. That was mean.
Excuse you.
You forget what it was like when I had dreads? That was a whole bottle.
Okay, you know what? To be fair, if I use like half a bottle of shampoo in one shampoo, maybe I did double shampoo. But the hair is still breaking.
Yeah,
if I do it again.
I realize that that's different.
Yes.
I'm talking to people, I guess, who have similar hair texture to mine.
White people.
Double shampoo your hair.
Sorry.
Priya, I thought that was a good one. Okay, some of the little sisters need to hear that.
I think so
Double
too.
shampoo, one condition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Next, the people who make you feel like you need to make yourself smaller in some way are not your real friends.
Amen.
Next one. Oh,
No, I was just
should I pause?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say again that scripture verse, iron sharpens iron. Like they want you to be sharp too, and in doing so, you're doing the same. So I'm just saying the Bible is literally all over that one specifically. The Bible's all over many of these, but anyway, maybe not the double shampoo.
Maybe not the double shampoo. That was just me. Okay, next. Ignoring red flags in someone because you want to believe in their potential is going to come back to bite you in the ass later. Don't date potential.
Okay,
That's
really quick. I'm going to say this. This has to be a different podcast episode because I would love a conversation on differentiating between potential or differentiating between when is it okay to walk away, because we know that, like, for example, as women, we know we're not going to find a man that is 100% perfect, and we know that he needs to be growing, but like what is potential versus him in his growth process versus like I should stick with him in his growth process versus I should walk away. So I'm putting that out there now. That needs
That's
to
a good
happen.
one.
Okay.
Someone remind us of that later.
That sounds like a boy brief segment.
No,
it does.
I feel like it would take even more time than just a boy briefs.
No,
but
it'll
you could
be like a
all up
whole
in it.
thing.
I think it needs to be a whole one.
Yeah. Next, skincare is not a girly thing. Period. Yeah. I wrote your skin is an organ. And if you don't start now, then you're going to end up spending more money later on trying to fix the things that you could have prevented now.
Can I just emphasize with that? Because I believe this is very true. Skincare is not just your face.
That too.
There's skin everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Your whole body's covered with it.
Shocking. So like body serums are a thing. Lotion is a thing.
Yeah.
Oof. That's your man right there.
EJ
Looking
just
like
hit
he
his
just
feet.
crossed the river Jordan.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. I love you, EJ. I'm sorry.
These are biblical feet, fam. Chill.
Crying. He didn't shake the dust off at the last town he left.
Jeez.
It's okay. It's okay. His knees are doing great.
Embarrassing.
I just to vindicate you real quick. Your knees are not ashy.
Yeah, your
at
knees
all.
are in not bad shape.
I do be having ashy toes. I'm not gonna lie.
You do. Do you have any more you want to add? I have a couple more, but
Throw them in and then I'll add a couple.
okay.
Mine are kind of different.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I figured yours would be.
like I didn't have such practical like skincare-y, like that type of stuff. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, maybe this is the last one.
Okay.
Wait, hang on. Oh, this is something that I wish I did. I wish I had taken a gap year after high school.
Go deeper.
Because I feel like there is so much pressure in grade 11 and specifically grade 12 to like go to some type of post-secondary something. You know, they make you choose all your courses starting in grade 11 based on what you want to do after high school. And then, you know, you have all these like prerequisites based on those courses that you have to, or that program that you have to think about, you know, that you have to take in high school and all that kind of stuff. And then you've got like schools coming and doing presentations and all that kind of stuff. And there's just so much pressure to have it figured out.
Yes.
And I feel like for a lot of people, it leads you to make a decision that you wouldn't have otherwise made if you weren't essentially making it under duress.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like I was one of those people. And so, yeah, I wish that I had taken a year to just think and just figure it out a little bit more. Because I don't think you necessarily have it like all figured out. You know, your whole life, you're going to figure it out in a year, you know. But I just feel like it would have given me some time to just think a little bit and reflect and like consider and plan a little bit and all those kinds of things, as opposed to just like, okay, gotta go. Yeah.
I like that one. I think a lot of people probably need to hear that.
Yeah.
You know
I think
the Myers-Briggs personality test thing?
Our favorite.
That should be a course or at least like a subject in high school.
Like, you know how we do civics and careers?
Yeah.
It should be civics and careers, but in careers should have like things like
yeah.
personality
Yeah.
types
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
what your creative skills are, like what your gifts are. I agree.
Because
Yeah.
like for me,
It tells you so much.
I had no clue what I wanted to do after high school. But had I understood my personality and how I learn and all that kind of stuff, it might have at least helped me with like a direction of like where to look, you know?
Yeah.
That's
I
my
agree.
2 thoughts.
No, it's true.
That's a good
I
two
feel like
thoughts.
my careers class, like citizen careers at least, it was like how to put together a resume, you know, which is fine.
But
Like,
I could Google that.
but I could Google that.
And we
yeah.
have AI now, like
Right. I just get AI to write it for me.
Oh, the kids these days are so lucky.
So lucky.
Actually, you know what?
Insane.
I will say one of my biggest things that I'm thankful for is that we didn't have AI, because my skill as a writer would not be as developed as it was.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Agreed,
And
yeah.
no one can take that from me. Like the tone in which I write, like people are like, "Oh, you could tell that you wrote that," and I would not trade that for anything. I love that.
Yeah. No, that like the actual skills that you had to like
Yeah.
learn because you had to actually do it.
Right.
Is different. But I feel like.
But for a resume, pop off.
For real. Cover letter, even better. But yeah, no, I feel like that class, like it taught you how to write a resume and things like that. And it helped you prepare to like, you know, get your first job kind of thing, which is fine. It's good. But like careers.
Right. Not
like
not
that
jobs.
class helped you get your first job at like a Tim Hortons or like a McDonald's or whatever. But careers, like you're probably not going to work there for the rest of your life. So how did it help us for an actual career kind of thing? I don't think it did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm triggered.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I don't think it did.
Okay, I'm going to piggyback off of that because one of the ones on my list was don't marry your first idea. And so what I mean by that is if something pops up into your head or you're like, oh, I'm going to do this, be open to the idea that the plan could change. Be open to the idea that God can move you in a different direction. Be open to the fact that just because you said it doesn't mean you're stuck with it. Unless you're actually in covenant, like you're good to go.
In which case, you're stuck.
You're done. Sit yourself down. But yeah, give yourself, and that applies to so many things. That applies to like school. That applies to like career ideas. That applies to relationship potential. Like all these things. Just because it looks good doesn't mean you have to go for it full throttle. Let yourself think for a second, baby. I promise it'll be okay. So that was mine. That's not my only one, but yeah. Do you have more,
I love that.
Do you have more?
I have one more.
Okay, and then I'll fly through some of mine.
Okay.
Excuse me. I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
this is my last one. Men are not trash.
Period.
Yeah.
Period.
I rate it.
And if you think
what?
Some of them are. Some of them are.
Men as a general
but
statement.
as a blanket statement, men are not trash. And if you think that they are, based on your dating experience,
the calls come from inside the house. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But
period.
I think
you might be the common denominator.
Some inner deep work might be.
Yeah, you might be the common denominator,
might be
or you have been looking for your person in the wrong place. And if you think that all men are trash based on what you hear your friends talking about from their experiences, then your friends may not be as healthy as you think that they are, in which case you might not be as healthy as you think you are.
Yeah.
So
well done.
You may need to do some
deeper
work.
If you think all men are trash, stop dumpster diving.
Wait, that hit. EJ! I loved that. Why do I want that on a t-shirt?
Stop dumpster diving.
Stop dumpster diving, queen.
That's where trash is.
That is fast.
Oh my gosh.
Snaps. That was a really good one. That was a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now's not the time for you to die. Okay. I have never underestimate the power of excusing yourself to the washroom. Sometimes you need a minute, whether it be to deal with a specific situation, somebody's making you uncomfortable, you feel like you're about to burst into tears. Find a bathroom.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
No one's
so
gonna
much.
tell. Yeah, no one's gonna tell you no, you can't go pee right now. Yeah. Actually, I can.
My teacher used to tell me that.
But actually, they're not supposed to say that.
Oh, I left.
Yeah, because what are they going to tell you? What are you supposed to do? Pee on the seat? Like,
literally, what do you want me to do? Just pop a squat right here.
I wish that I had realized that sooner. It would have gotten me out of a lot of sticky situations. Okay. Just take the random video. You can figure out how to make it cute later. I feel like people get really stressed about like, I want to capture this moment, but it has to be perfect. No, just capture random things. You will figure out how to make it good later.
Okay, I love that because I actually live by that.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
That's like my life right there.
Yeah, and I think it works so well. Mm-hmm. Never mistake comfortability for safety. Just because you're comfortable around somebody does not mean that you are safe with them.
So good.
And the second that you start to become uncomfortable with them because their actions have changed or their true colors are showing or whatever it is, that facade of safety is going to dip so quick and you're going to be left so confused. So just slow down and just know that one does not equate the other.
Well, also, I feel like there's a lot of situations when we have become so used to something that's unhealthy that it does become comfortable because it's familiar.
Exactly.
So even more to your point.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so true.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Sometimes that's the hardest part about like pulling yourself out of a unhealthy situation, is that you would be rather unhealthy and with what's familiar than healthy with oh my gosh, I can't talk, with what's unfamiliar.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It definitely is. Yeah. We get stuck in patterns so easily. And so like, I'll say this because in the therapeutic methods that I practice, it's very behavioralist. And so it's very based on like, what behaviors am I doing that perpetuate specific patterns? And then it's like, change that behavior to make new patterns, right? And I think that applies in so many more areas than people realize. Because and even to the point of like, stop dumpster diving. Like, if you position yourself in that same way over and over and over, of course, that's what you're going to keep yielding. And it's not to say that it's you being dumb or it's your fault or anything like that, but it's just this idea of, how can I be more aware of how I played a role? And how can I change that pattern? Because there will come a point when it is no longer safe, even though that pattern is very, very comfortable for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
True.
That was good.
That's deep.
That's a really good one.
You might not need the tampon, but somebody else will, so please pack it.
Ah, yes.
Be a girl's girl. That was for, yeah.
Yeah.
Or the hair tie, in which men, please participate. Have a hair tie. Some girls
The
don't
bobby
need it.
pin, the safety pin.
The safety pin. Be the person who has a sewing kit.
When I cut my dreads, I stopped carrying hair ties.
What a sad thing.
Yeah.
I love when guys like carry hair ties and you're like, I need a hair tie. And a guy's like, oh, I have one. Like, it's just the best.
Yeah. And they're like short hair, like Buzz. Like, I know you don't need that.
It's like, you're just a gem.
Yeah.
For gem reasons.
You're just here to like be a hero.
Green
you
flag.
Think it would be wise for guys to carry a tampon around?
I think it would make a bit more sense if they had like a sister or something, because I might be like, why do you have a tampon? Like, who are you with? But you know what?
I'm not mad at it.
I wouldn't be mad at it. Like, let's say a guy had an emergency kit in his car and he had included a tampon in there. Yeah. I would actually think that was so thoughtful and kind.
I
of
agree.
Like thinking about the hair tie, if I have short hair, I'm not gonna use it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's obviously gonna be for somebody else.
It's for somebody else, probably a girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, if guys had an equivalent to tampons, I probably would carry one in like my car kit. Now that I think about it, so yeah, I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be a hero.
Be a hero.
Be a hero.
Okay, let me see what else I have.
And if you've seen She's the Man,
That's true.
He might just have it for the nosebleeds.
They could be useful.
They can be useful for the nosebleeds.
Yeah.
I've used Priya's tampons.
For nosebleeds?
No, I was sick and I had a runny nose.
Oh, that's true. You did do that. I forgot about that.
And I thought about the movie and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it. And it worked.
That is so
It was
funny.
great.
That is so funny.
I forgot about that.
That was crazy.
That's really funny.
Okay, I love that. This next one, I feel like this one is kind of, I don't know if it's, the word intentional is thrown around a lot in Christianhood, in Christian dating. And so my thing here is, never mistake someone's being pushy or rushing you for them being intentional. It's not the same thing.
That's good.
Yeah. Like, intentional would mean that they're willing to be patient. They're willing to slow down. They're willing to do all those things. Mm-hmm. But if they're just super intense about it, it just means that maybe they lack self-control.
Oh, that's so good. I want to stand up and clap.
Clap when you land.
Yeah. Intentionality is clarity.
Yes.
Yes.
And being like direct with your intentions, but not aggressive.
Yeah. Well, intentionality also has everything to do with motive. Mm-hmm. And so if their actions are really exposing their motives, then that's what they're being intentional about, not what you wish they were being intentional about.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Okay, I only have a couple more. Don't shy away from things just because other people can't pull it off.
That's a flex.
But it's so true. I think we often dim our light for other people. And it's like, well, why didn't they bring sunglasses? Like, I don't understand.
Wait. Flex number 2.
But like, do you know what I mean?
I do.
And I think if everyone were to show up and just be who they are and be confident in the fact that like, yeah, this is me. This is what I could pull off. It's okay if it's not for you, but it is for me. I think we'd all just, first of all, we'd see how incredible we all are. And I think we would all just be more confident showing up as ourselves. So
I love that.
I feel like you're too pink and bubbly to say such dope things like that.
Stop.
that was aggressive.
Was it?
You might not be able to pull it off, but she can.
No, like bring sunglasses. Like, come on, that's funny.
You know what? That could go on a shirt too.
Yeah.
Guys, I think we've just come up with several merch ideas today.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Let me see if there's any more. Okay. I will do 2 more. I didn't realize I had many in this list. I forgot about it. Okay. You're not too grown for a crush. If you're not getting crush feelings, it's because you don't like him.
Facts.
Like, if you're not feeling
what?
You don't
That's
like
true.
him. Yeah.
Men have mastered this. This is very much for the women.
Interesting.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I want to hear.
Like that concept you just said, men get that. Like, if we don't have the feelings, we're not interested.
You're just not it.
Yeah. There's no guy that's gonna be like, but maybe I can make it,
Yeah.
No.
And I think that comes back to like, we date potential. Like, I think we have an innate desire to nurture.
Yeah.
And so we believe that we can like turn the grave into the garden when like, baby, only Jesus can do that. So I think that plays into that one that you said earlier too.
If you have to convince yourself to like him, you don't like him.
Yeah. Or just assume that like, because I've heard this before. It's like, maybe it just means I feel super, again, that word safe, because like the butterflies could technically be like a trauma response, or they could be showing that I have anxiety. No.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Can we stop throwing around the words trauma response, please?
Yeah, it's not.
Because
Trust
if
me, you do
everything is
not
a trauma
want-
response, then nothing is a trauma response.
Right. And that belittles the people who have had trauma and
Literally.
their experiences and responses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Last one. The word of God has everything about everything. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Like, you will find the answer to anything you're looking for.
It's true.
If you look for it. Seek and you shall find.
And get a study Bible.
Yeah. My life changed with study Bible.
Learn how to properly read the Bible.
Yeah.
We should talk about that one time too. Like, how are you actually reading the Bible?
Our pastor has a whole.
That's so good.
What was it, like 13-week series?
That's amazing.
He called it Back to School, and he just
I remember you saying this.
he just went through how to properly read, understand, and interpret the Bible. So when you have those questions or you see those weird, questionable parts in the Bible, you understand how to get the answer instead of just being like, "This is craziness. I'm out."
I love that.
It was really good.
So step 1, get a study Bible.
Yeah. And step 2, don't be afraid to write in it. Guys, God is not going to be mad if you are scribbling away in your Bible. I'm sorry, he's not.
No.
He's not.
true.
He would rather you be in the word than put the word on a shelf and stare at it. Yeah.
It's true.
Okay.
Boy
Well,
briefs.
yeah, that was good. Boy briefs it is.
Priya, you're real cozy right now, Priya.
I am.
She's always like, you have mastered the art of like making yourself comfortable. I always like that. I feel like
It's because she's small.
yeah, I'm too like, I cannot.
Like, Priya's like a whole 4'9".
I feel.
You look comfortable now. Also,
I
I'm not
feel-
4'9".
Oh, I totally didn't even back you up on that. She's
Okay.
not 4'9".
4'11".
What?
I'm not that either.
5 foot.
What are you, 5'2"?
She's 5 foot.
5'1".
You are not.
You're 5'1"?
She's
5'1".
She's 5.
Why did I think you were 5'2"? Okay, do you
5'1".
think that the best friend duos always has a short and a tall?
Yeah, it's like Simon and Theodore.
Yeah.
Do you think it goes with the golden retriever and black cat thing?
I think it does. Although, like, it's not like
can
the golden
switch.
retriever's always tall.
Yeah, no, that can switch. Agreed.
I'm not comfortable. I really tried to, like, make it a thing.
Yeah, because you're normal people height.
I'm actually tall for a girl. Thank you very much.
Opposites attract.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I had a Boy Briefs question written down. This one might take some context, so I'm going to try my best to explain it. I'll give you the backstory, EJ.
Okay, I love a good backstory.
We know you do.
Me too.
So I kind of...
So I can't tell a story without it.
Oh, Priya, you actually cannot tell a story
can't.
without backstory.
Sometimes you tell too much backstory.
I know.
Yeah, like sometimes I get lost. But it's like my favorite thing about you.
In my head, I have to connect all of the dots.
Yeah.
You have to have all of the information, all of the context, all of the detail.
Well, do you want to know something?
What?
Way back when, before we had like done the first round of pod, when I had asked you if you wanted to do a podcast, it was because I remember anytime you'd like call me or be like, oh, I have a story to tell you, I'd be like, hey, where's my snack? Like, where's my blanket? Because it was like, strap in.
It was going to be a whole event.
It was an event. And I was kind of like,
a feature-length film.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? You know what girl who could talk and make it interesting? My girl, Priya.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I literally remember
That's
thinking
funny.
that, like, this girl can chat.
Your dad is like that.
Oh my goodness,
That's
he
where you
is.
get it
That's
from.
exactly where you get it from. It totally is.
I know.
I love this. Anyway, I kind of went down a little wormhole on TikTok
Nice.
where all good ideas either start or leave.
True.
And the idea was, it started off with this one video of a girl saying, and I'm paraphrasing, but she was essentially saying to girls, don't worry, because if there was a guy and he was into you, you will always be able to get him back. Because if he's into you, he's into you. And then it kind of spurred it off into like people saying, well, like, no, like you wouldn't be able to get him back. And like girls were saying they feel like it's different for girls to guys. Like if you were interested in a guy and then let's say either you dated or, you know, there was a situationship or you just like outgrew the crush, you will completely compartmentalize him back into like, you don't even feel like you might acknowledge that he's attractive, but it doesn't really affect you at all. Whereas they feel like a guy, if they have now started viewing a woman as attractive, it's like she's in that attractive box forever. Even if like things went south, it's still like, oh, but she's hot though. Like, whereas girls will totally turn that off and they're like, ew, like he's like a toe, and he's not a toe. I mean, obviously he's not a toe. So I think that was kind of the context of the videos, and there was lots of debate.
Okay.
So here's what I wrote down. It might not make perfect sense, but if a man has started viewing you as potential or attractive, or has even potentially entered a dating relationship / situationship with a woman, either if he moves on, things don't work out, etc., can he go back to seeing her the way he did before, or will his perception of her attractiveness, her still being a potential option, etc., change? The caveat being like something super toxic didn't occur. You know what I mean?
That's loaded. That's a lot
I know.
going on.
You don't have to do the whole thing. Pick a part that you think makes the most sense to address.
Okay. I think when it comes to the context, I think whoever said that statement is dumb.
Cool.
Yeah, I feel like that's not true.
I feel like it's
This
so
is my own
wrong.
2 cents. I feel like that's not true.
But I didn't think so either, but there was just so much debate that I was like,
I actually feel like the opposite would be more true.
okay.
I was gonna say that too.
Like I feel like women would have a harder time falling for somebody, it not working out, and then just being able to be like, nah.
Really?
But guys, we can be like, yeah, she's still hot, but I'm cool.
But I think for me personally, what I'm saying, because you're like, yeah, the guy might still think she's hot, but be able to put it aside. I feel like girls will get to the place, it takes girls a long time, but they will get to the place where they will never view that person the same again. So he could have been a 10, now he's a 2. Like, actually, deeply. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, all attractiveness for him has left the building.
Yeah, guys can separate physical attraction from all the other stuff. So like if you're a 10, you're always going to be a 10 in terms of physical attraction.
Right.
But the rest of it is just like if you're not a good person, then
you're just not.
Yeah. So it's like,
So you just like then have absolutely zero interest.
yeah, might double back if he's not like a Christian.
Fair. Breakup sex.
Yeah, but he's not trying to like be in a relationship. You're just still a 10.
Yeah. I think that's so interesting, and I don't quite understand why. I feel like for girls, and I think this is why sometimes, you see, I guess I'll call it a mismatched couple, where it's like the girl is like, she's a 12 out of 10, and the guy is like not a 12 out of 10. I don't really like assigning numbers, but anyway, for the purpose of this.
Judgment.
Exactly. Literally. It makes me feel icky, though. And so I think you can see that a lot, because for a woman, what makes a man attractive is so much more than his face. Like, I feel like that's, and I don't know if I'm speaking for all the women, but I feel like that's the least of the worries in this scenario. It's like, there's so many other things to be concerned about, and that will bolster his attraction. Mm-hmm. But I feel like for guys, it's just like, is she hot or is she not? And that's why I wondered, and I guess many people on TikTok wondered that too. Like,
yeah, like
what guys, actually happens?
Guys, like that's an aspect of our attraction to somebody. But I think we can just separate easier. Like, it's easy to be like, you are objectively, like, I like to look at you, you know? But then understanding that I don't want to be with you, though, it's easier for guys to connect those two and understand that they're not mutually exclusive. Girls, I think it's definitely the whole package. Yeah. And that's why you see 10s with 2s.
So then, who do you think has an easier time overlooking less than stellar character or personality? Girls with a guy who's like physically attractive, like crazy hot, but like character and personality meh? Or guys looking at a girl who's physically attractive, crazy hot, but character and personality meh?
Girls.
Wait, girls have an easier time overlooking that, and they'll still go for the guy?
Yes.
That has a bad personality?
Yes. Because of that potential thing.
Actually, that was what my answer was going to be. I'm sorry, I just had to like shift that around again.
Because it's a whole package thing, you guys think I can fix the package. Because guys can just see through it, it's like, now cool.
I was going to say the opposite, but girls really are out here thinking we can fix guys.
Yes, we are. And that I believe that that's a problem.
Girls can inspire a guy to fix himself. Like, the right girl can inspire him to do the work, but she cannot fix him.
Right.
Well, and then we get into if he wanted to, he would.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang.
Epiphanies.
Guys are pretty easy to read. I think what I see happening a lot of the time is girls just don't like what they're reading. Or they ignore what they're reading.
Yeah. I agree.
Like, apart from the guys who are choosing to be manipulative, most guys are pretty direct without even saying things. You can just tell by, like, it shows, like, what we feel and how we are, it shows. Mm-hmm. So if the sign is there, read it. If you don't like what it says, okay,
then it's not
sit in that, consider it, feel it, like, decide what you want to do with that information. But the information is the information.
Yeah.
Can't fix them.
That was something else on my list. When people show you who they are, believe
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true. Agreed.
accept people for who they are. The good, the bad, the ugly.
And accept that they may not be for you.
Yes, and that's what I was going to say.
Accept them for who they are.
But acceptance does not mean that they are now, like, you have to embrace it. Accepting means I understand that that's how you are.
Yeah.
I get to have the autonomy to make the decision of what I'm doing with that, because I also accept how I am and my boundaries, etc.
Life is easier when you accept people for who they are.
Yeah.
It's less drama, it's less stress, less confusion.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff, guys.
This was fun.
It was.
This was chill. This was a nice little Thursday night chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it went well.
Thunderstorm pod.
The thunderstorm truly was a God thing, and I loved it.
That was everything.
It really was.
I hope it starts again.
Like, I barely even did camera edits in this episode.
Oh, really?
You guys are been on a wide cam for the whole thing.
Oh, wow. Oh, no. And you know what? Sometimes I'm like, okay, if Priya's talking, I can, like, shift around because the camera will be on
Oh, my gosh,
her.
I think that, too.
Great. EJ has exposed
Yeah, when you
us.
start talking, sometimes I'll be, like, fixing my hair.
Or, like, itching your nose.
Yeah, yeah.
Scratching your nose, sorry.
Usually I do, but it's a lazy thunderstorm pod.
Yeah. And I am in a better mood now. But I am hungry,
good.
so let's wrap it up.
Hungry. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. If you guys enjoyed today's chill episode, be sure to follow our podcast. You can follow us on YouTube. We are on video, so if you did not get to see that, please come watch us. Our wide angle today, I guess. Or you could listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. If you want to follow the show, Priya, EJ, or myself, all of our information is in the show notes below. Give us a rating and review. We really appreciate that. It helps us understand what we need to do to improve, and we like engagement. And so to that end, let us know, what was it that we wanted people to comment about? How do you hear God? We still want to know, so comment below. How do you hear God? I think that's it. So until next time, stay faithful, stay courageous, keep embracing the journey, and don't get your panties in a bunch. We love you. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I almost did it, and then I didn't.
That's funny.